of Trinity USA, RPA and IPA solutions. Next, I would like to welcome Dr. Kamal Kishore Uke sir, Senior Principal Scientist, Council of Scientific and Industrial Research, the Central Mechanical Engineering Research Institute, Government of India. I would also like to welcome Mr. Shivanand Balgi sir, General Manager at the Supreme Industries Limited for this workshop. I would also like to welcome Honorable Executive Director of KJ's Educational Institute, Major General Sameer Kalla sir, for this 2 days national level workshop. Next, I welcome Principal of Trinity Polytechnic, Dr. Doshi sir. I would also like to welcome Principal of Trinity Academy of Engineering, Pune, Dr. Nilesh Uke sir. I welcome all the heads of the departments and all my dear colleagues. Last but not the least, I welcome all the participants without whom this event would have been incomplete. At my lowest, God is my hope. At my darkest, God is my light. At my weakest, God is my strength. Let us begin the today's auspicious event with the blessings of Goddess of Knowledge, Ma Saraswati. I would like to call upon all the dignitaries and respected principals sir for lamp lighting. I request all the dignitaries to please occupy distinguished chair. May I now request Executive Director of KJ's Educational Institute, Major General Sameer Kalla sir, to please felicitate Mr. Sunil Bodke sir, co-founder of Predictly USA, ARPA and IPA Solutions. Please give a big round of applause. I once again request Major General Sameer Kalla sir to please felicitate Dr. Kamal Kishore Uke sir, Senior Principal Scientist, Council of Scientific and Industrial Research, Central Mechanical Engineering Research Institute, Government of India. May I now request Dr. Nilesh Uke sir to please felicitate Mr. Shivananda Balgi sir, General Manager at the Supreme Industries Limited. Thank you, sir. May I now request Dr. Nilesh Uke sir, Principal of Trinity Academy of Engineering, Pune, to deliver the welcome address.
Good morning, one and all. Dignitaries on the dais, all my heads of the department, principals, and dear participants, and also my students. Education policy we are trying to learn today for next 2 days. If you look at the earlier policies started in 68, somewhere it was little changed in 86, somewhat changed in 92, and that is being happening for so many years. And this new education policy, what was designed in 2020, we are just in a phase of implementation. And while implementing this policy, which is changed after 36 years, it's not that easy. And that is why government has asked everybody to learn this and start implementing in effective way. It is going to take time. The entire policy is divided into 2-3 phases: short term, maybe mid-term and long-term goals. We are in the first phase and trying to implement academic credits, trying to implement that if somebody goes out of first year, he will get diploma. If somebody leaves out of engineering, he will get degree. If somebody goes out of 4 years of this one, he will get degree with research. So this component of research has added into this new education policy for everything, whether it is for one faculty to other faculty. Specifically, we are talking about engineering. Multiple exit, multiple entries. That you want to go out of engineering education for 2 years, go work, learn. Again, you can come back. You know to have a separate admission process. And when you leave, you will get certain certification course or degree with you. Now, this has a lot of implications and we have a lot of problems also. Let us say in third year, you want to learn maybe martial arts, or you want to learn English literature after doing your second year. You want to go for humanities, social sciences. This type of courses are to be, added into curriculum. And for an integrated campus like this is fine. I have science college, I have pharmacy college, but otherwise, how that would be implemented? And that is why university has given us this sponsorship for arranging such type of programs. We have received more than 130 participants all over Pune, Maharashtra, and out of Maharashtra also. There, few of them are just joining. If you look at a job of a teacher, job of a guru, job of a coach, and job of a mentor. In this policy, much job lies on the teacher. A coach, a mentor is different from what a teacher is. I am a professor, I am supposed to profess. 25 years back, I was a lecturer. My job is to give lecture. There is a difference between these. A coach, Ramakant Achrekar was a coach. He never scored century, but his anuyai or his student has maximum number of centuries. That is what is the job of a teacher in this new education policy. Most of the students and the teachers sitting over here for next 2 days, they will learn many things from this. Whereas out of this entire education policy, we have been given a small component of that, industry institute linkage. And whatever speakers are there for next 2 days, maybe 8 to 10 speakers, everybody is from industry. How we need to inculcate those research habits in undergraduate, how industry can play roles in engineering education, we are going to learn that, and how they can support. If you look at the new education policy, there are three mantras: Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. Now, who are those? The alumnus, the industry partner, and the teacher. These are the three things which will add up, and we'll call them as Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. I welcome again to all the participants, all my today's speaker, guest. I wish a very best luck for this 2 days faculty development program and workshop. We hope that we learn something out of this 2 days program, and there is a long way to execute this new education policy. And you, all boys and girls, you will be the maybe the first batch who would have these policies added into your curriculum. Recently, we started with Academic Bank of Credit. Everybody has registered for NPTEL and SWAYAM courses. Now, there is a mandate. If you do that course, you need not to give your theory paper. Only thing, you need to score that many credits. It is all based on the credits. Now, if you look at other countries, the credit system started maybe 20 years back. We started CBCS maybe 10 years back in Pune University. Credit-based systems. One lecture, one credit, or maybe two practicals, one credit. Projects, maybe 15 credits. In this way, many of the universities have 180 credits graduate program. We have 168 credits program, and you have to earn the credit. It's not that passing a subject that means you got it. No. Out of the 5 subjects, even in your curriculum, out of 5 subjects, in this semester, you can register only for 4 subjects. If you want to study one subject after 2 years, that is fine, but you don't do that. Currently, you register for all 5 subjects because you are not making use of that policy completely. Currently, from second year, you directly go to third year, you take all 5 subjects, all 3 practicals, all projects. It's not that way. It is credit based. You can take only 3 subjects and go to the next semester. You have to earn those 20 credits to get promoted to the next semester or next year. Well, there are many learnings in this 2 days session from industry people, R&D organizations, and some academicians also. I wish again a very best luck for this 2 days program. Thank you for coming all the way from your busy schedule, all the 3 speakers today. Thank you to the management also. They have supported and allowed us to hold this program in our campus. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for giving insights of this National Education Policy 2020. May I now request Honorable Executive Director, Major General Samir Kalla, sir, to address and guide all the participants.
A very good morning to you all. Firstly, let me welcome the honorable guests who are here today, all those who are online also, and all the participants who have registered for this 2 days workshop, which I think is the burning issue today with most of the educational institutions. Now, to understand this national education policy, actually the draft or the paper, the policy document, what we say, if we go through that, after reading at the end of it, you feel what is new about it. Everything is as good as what it was. It is something like old wine in new bottle. So you change the package and you remarket the whole thing, but that's not it. That's where the problem comes of implementation. So to understand this, I would go by a basic question. What is the meaning of policy? In the Oxford Dictionary, if I read it out correctly, it says a course or principle of action adopted or proposed by any organization or individual. So this is the proposed course of action as far as the education system in India is concerned, which will be implemented now. Now the new education policy actually took birth, and why it happened, like Ukesa mentioned, 1968, 1992, two landmarks. The old education policy was a direct, I would say, take away from the British education system, which was introduced by Britishers in India. One of the major contribution to India, people say, some of the people believe, is the education system which Britishers brought. Because before that, we had a system of Gurukul, we had a different system where students had to go and stay with their gurus and learn. But now, after so many years, they realized that system was better. Because today's education policy, I'm not saying it is wrong or right or whatever, but there are drawbacks. There are major drawbacks of this policy, which over a period of time we have realized. And the major drawbacks, if you see, are three. Too much emphasis on grading system. कितने % marks आए, क्या grade मिला है. Nursery onwards grade starts. A child doesn't even know how to write A, but in his mark sheet, at the end of the nursery, it is written grade A. He himself doesn't know what is A. So we have too much of emphasis, and we start judging people based on grades. होता है ना, normal talk, people are talking. अच्छा, so how much marks you got last year? Third year में कितने % आए? Sir, I am 80%. Oh, very good. Good students. Somebody says I am 60%. May not be that good. But there are thousands of cases where 60% grade wale students have done 10 times better than 80% grade. In fact, there are more cases like that than this. Because the overall development of a man or a person for that matter, I won't say man, for anybody, any human being, revolves around three pillars: knowledge, skill, and third and most important, citizenship of that country. What kind of a pride you take in your country. When you combine these three pillars, that's where a holistic development of a human being can take place. I don't know how many of you felt this, but I'll tell you my experience of so many years. India lacks, we lack national character, unfortunately. Our country does not have a national character. In movie halls, you all must be remembering, earlier there used to be national anthem. Why it's been stopped? Because some of us felt it's not important to stand up when national anthem is playing. So it was a disrespect to national anthem. So they had no other way to implement it. So they said, okay, fine, stop playing it in the. So they stopped playing it. It was reintroduced 4 years back. They again tried it for 6 months and they had to stop it again. Where is the national character? Do we take pride in a country? No. That's one pillar. Second important pillar is what we say knowledge, what is grading, what you get. Acquiring knowledge is important, but how to use that knowledge is more important than acquiring that knowledge. And that's where your skill comes into play. We have a lot of industry experts here, and I am sure they'll agree with my personal opinion on this subject. It may be wrong. There is no dearth of jobs in India. People say job nahi hai. A lot of engineers, they graduate and they don't get a job. Jobs are there. They don't have skill to take that job. That's the problem. You have a degree, but you don't have a skill. You've learned about a scientific concept, but you don't know how to use that scientific concept on ground. Then what is the use of that concept? And that's why a lot of students now, and in fact, why students, I've met some teachers also who say, I don't know, sir, why we were taught physics. Kahan use hoti hai physics? But hoti hai na. Gravity is used everywhere in everyday life. We never realize it. So these are the three pillars which I feel are very, very important. And the next important thing as far as NEP is concerned is the implementation. Implementation of any policy will always have major challenges because we all belong to a category called human beings. And human beings by nature are status quoist. If I am comfortable in my chair, I will not change my chair for next 20 years. Okay, I am comfortable there. Why should I become uncomfortable? There may be a better chair which can give you better things, but no, I am comfortable. It's okay. No, I don't want. I'm okay with this chair. We all by nature are like that. And therefore, we always resist change. Any change. When your parents at home try and do some change in your life, you know, 8 baje se pehle ghar aa jana, you revolt. Why? Same thing. In our lives also, when there is a change, it starts with lot of agitation, lots of, opposition. And similarly, any implementation of policy starts with opposition. It starts with that. What is the need? Sab theek to chal raha hai. So the first major challenge, is the opposition by stakeholders. That's one. Second major challenge in implementing a policy is understanding of that policy. 90% people implement certain things, but they do not understand why it is being done. So by the nature of maybe dande ka zor or law ka or whatever it is being forced on you, so you are following that. But you've not understood the reason why it has been done for you. And the third important challenge, which I feel, is that interpretation. Now, any policy is always ambiguous. No policy can be made to the word because that flexibility has to be given in the policy. And that's why once a policy is implemented, that policy is over a period of time, there's a mid-course correction which is done by everybody who's made that policy. So you start with something, but you finally end up with a different model altogether sometimes. So that flexibility is required in each one of us to understand and interpret it in a right way. So these are three major challenges in implementation, I think, which is going to be a major problem as far as we are concerned for next 2-3 years when we are going to implement this new education policy. Basically, the new education policy is looking at three things. One, overall development. Two, research oriented. And third, a knowledgeable Indian citizen. They are the vision. If the vision statement you read, it talks about Bharat. It talks about Bharatiya, holistic citizen who is knowledgeable, who has skill, who takes pride in his country. That is the overall sum of the vision statement of National Education Policy 2020. So let's develop this Bharatiya for our Bharat, who is knowledgeable, a global and a skilled citizen. That is what we are looking at. And in that, one of the main important aspect, what we are going to discuss next 2 days, is the linkage between the industry and us. How the industry is going to be a major game changer in this new education policy. So that is what we are going to go over for next 2 days rather. That's what I thought, because the subject is so vast, we can talk for hours and hours on new education policy. But aim is not that. Aim is to listen to the experts who are with us and take the important takeaways from whatever they are talking about. And let's be prepared for this change which may happen maybe in next 2 years, 3 years, whatever the time the implementation takes place. So thank you so much, and once again I welcome all the participants and also the guests of honor who are with us, and looking forward for the sessions which are going to come after this. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir, for your valuable guidance. May I now request Ms. Dipti Kulkarni ma'am to give away a vote of thanks.
A very good morning. On behalf of Trinity Academy of Engineering, 125 acres of beautiful campus, that is KJEI campus, I feel immense pleasure to deliver this vote of thanks. First of all, I would like to thank Savitribai Phule University, who have selected our college for this 2 days national level workshop of implementation of national education policy on the topic of Industry Institute Linkages 2022. I even like to thank all the dignitaries, Mr. Sunil Bodke sir, Mr. Kamal Kishore Uke sir, Mr. Shivanand Balki sir, who is at present with us for this inaugural function. We even have many academicians and many more industry people coming up within these 2 days, who even shall be signing up all the MOUs with the current participants from different colleges. I would like to thank our management, KJ Kalyan Zadav sir, who is our source of inspiration and who never says no for any such technical activities also. I would even like to thank Major General Sameer Kalla sir, Executive Director of KJEI Campus, Dr. Nilesh Uke sir, Principal, Trinity Academy of Engineering, who is the strongest support behind this complete program. On behalf of this KJEI's Trinity Academy of Engineering, I would like to thank all the participants within Pune University, out of Pune University, and also out of Maharashtra who have joined. We had 200 plus registration, and I'm glad that they are here with us today. I even want to thank all the HODs, the faculty and students present over here, my team members, the coordinators, faculty and students. Without whose support, this program wouldn't be a success. And within these 2 days, they'll be with you all for the complete time. Not lastly, I would like to thank all the non-teaching staff of Trinity Academy of Engineering who has helped us in all the modes. Thank you all, and I hope you love this environment and the 2 days workshop which will be going on with us. Now we all should stand for the national anthem.
गण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्छल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगल दायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे
Bharat Mata ki. Now I request all the students to be seated. All the faculty present over here with the dignitaries will have a group photograph in the TA forge. I request all the dignitaries to come outside. Let's take students. First, all the faculty and the dignitaries would be going on for the photograph. Settle down, settle down, settle down, down, down. चलो बैठो सब लोग वापस. We'll start the session. All the students get settled down. हाँ, session के बाद photograph लेंगे. Back. पीछे का गेट बंद कर दो.
We'll be having first session by Mr. Sunil Bodkesar, co-founder of Predictly USA, ARPA and IPA Solutions, who is the director of this Predictly USA, a Silicon Valley-based company with about 100 employees across USA and India. Sunil sir is having 25 years of experience in startup initiation to growth to merger, IT consulting, product management and program management and software engineering. Mr. Sunil Bodkesar holds the MTech degree from IIT Kharagpur and he has co-founded 3 IT companies and he sold one of them. His expertise includes IT product management, delivering IT solutions to enterprises across the globe. May I now request Sunil Bodkesar to please start today's session.
Good morning all. Long time I am speaking in front of students. Can you all hear me? Yes. Good morning, dignitaries and students. I call you all future because you will be shaping India. And I think it's a good thing to know that the government is coming with new policy because we in industry always felt there's a big gap between what we wanted in industry versus what skills we all have. A lot of times what we do is we do a lot of recruitment, experienced people as well as freshers. Main problem that I saw with college graduates was you all have complete courses, but I would say you have not learned it. You complete theory, you get good grades, and we as companies don't expect you to know theory, but more than that, how do you apply it? Right? And typically our interviews are not theoretical. It may be 5-10 minutes, but we give you actual problems and you have to solve it in front of computers. 80-90% of people, they can't complete it. 30-40% of people, they don't sit in front of computer. I don't want to do it. That's how bad the situation is. Okay? So I think what you all need to know is there is a different need that industry has. And what I will be talking is, from technology perspective, what is the future in technology, where in general technology is moving, and how you all should be prepared. That's what I will be focusing on. One of the founder of Trinity just one slide about our company. So we are based in Silicon Valley. We have office in London and also in Pune. Majority of development happens in Pune. We also have some employees in Mexico. We recently had some employees. That's where employees are. We focus on AI/ML. I think do you all know what is AI/ML? Yes. At high level, you all know, right? You feel it is interesting area? Yeah. So I want all of you to know, if you are from civil, mechanical, in any field, that AIML is the future. Every field you will have to use AIML. The way now we are using banking software, you are using basic softwares, even in civil, you are using some software, right? Basic softwares. Now that will be passed in future. In future, everything will be driven by AIML. So you all should be aware of what AIML is, where the industry is heading, okay, and what all you should be aware of in that field. That's what my focus will be. So we focus on AIML. Second is RPA. RPA is robotic process automation. A lot of people get confused. They feel RPA is linked to hardware. No, it is not. These are software bots. They are not the robots that you see in my factory, right? These are not those robots. These are software bots which are sitting on computers, and they trigger based on some actions, and they complete some tasks on their own. So example is, I'll give a very basic example. There are a lot of loan applications that people give, right? Home loan applications. You get thousands of loan applications. Somebody has to manually look at those applications and decide whether this person should get a loan, how much loan a person should get. So these are all manual process. There are people sitting at back end and doing it. If you have these bots, robots on computer, you don't need these people. Once the information comes through as a mail, these bots will go read the mail, extract the information, your salary statement, then your Aadhaar card, your PAN card, will connect to different systems, and it will automatically decide whether your loan should be approved or not. It will send a mail. Okay? That's the future. So that's another area we work on, RPA. Okay. So what I'm going to talk is what are the technology predictions. My focus will be, because I am from technology, I'll be talking more about technology, more from information technology. Okay. What is the future? How IT would drive all the industries, be it civil, mechanical, computer sciences, all those industries, and how we should be prepared. What I feel, it has already started happening. AI and machine learning will be ubiquitous to all technology. You will not know that you are using AI ML, but it will be inbuilt in whatever you are doing. So today you are using a lot of you do online purchasing, right? Through Amazon.in or through Flipkart, right? And you get a lot of recommendations. Those recommendations based on what you have purchased, what your habits are. So these are very simple examples of AI ML. There are machine learning models running at the back. It understands your behavior, how you behave, what searches you do, not only within Amazon.in, but also in general. What do you search on Facebook? Which kind of mails you respond to? It looks at all those and it gives you recommendations. Okay? So these, so you don't know at the back end there is something called AIML running and giving recommendations. But now think of it, the same thing will be applicable tomorrow in cars. You all know about autonomous cars, right? I was in US, and I went with one of my friends in Tesla, and we drove around 100 kilometers without anybody driving it. He was just sitting. It was scary for me. But that's the future. You have cars driving at 70, 80 miles per hour without a driver sitting, and it is reality in US. It will soon come in India. That's just one example. There is impact of it in civil engineering. There will be impact of it in mechanical engineering. How AI will be used. I will give some examples of how it is being used. Okay. So if you are from any non-technology engineering, so non-computer science, non-IT, don't think that you don't need to know computer science, or you don't need to know programming, or you don't need to know AIML. You have to learn these technologies, because whatever job you will be doing in future, 60 to 70% of your work will be technology driven. So you need to know those areas. So what I feel is future is convergence of technologies. And when I say technologies, I'm just not saying software programming technology. It is software plus hardware all coming together, right? So think of an industry. Have you heard of smart factories? Have you heard of smart factories? Anybody? Yeah. So smart factories are basically, today factories are run by people. Decisions are taken by people. How a factory should run, what production should be made. Right. Now smart factories in future They will be run by computers. There will be IoT devices which will be collecting signals, and based on some input data, they will automatically take some decisions. Okay, so these smart factories are already being implemented in US, Europe. There are companies in India who are actually creating solutions for smart factories. So what you are looking at is not only software, hardware, everything coming together. Okay? So even if you are in automobile, even if you are in mechanical, you need to be aware of how these smart factories run. It means you need to be aware of software programs. Okay? It's not showing complete slide. I don't know. So I don't know to teach AI ML here, but at very high level, I just want to let you know, because my focus will be on AI, ML, RPA, what artificial intelligence is. At very high level, it is how do you make machines smarter? How do you make machines behave like humans? Okay, that's what at high level, very high level, what artificial intelligence is. Like how do you make cars, okay, be driven the way humans want, right? How do you make sure that the factories that you have, right, they are smart enough to understand what the needs of people are, and they automatically trigger and take actions. As part of smart factories, there's a new concept coming in, which is real-time production. Which means today, if you decide that I want to produce say 5,000 items of this particular product, you feed it and the production continues, right? So future is where you will not feed that I want 5,000. The data will be collected. What industry or what your customer wants, it will be automatically collected based on what demand is there. So it will go to external systems, check what is the demand, which particular car color people like, right? Which particular model people are liking and buying it more. And the factories automatically change their production line and start producing those things on their own. That's the future that is coming in. Right? So that's where you will need a lot of AI to be used, right? So AI at high level is how do you make machines smarter? Machine learning is you give some statistical data, statistical information, and based on that information, the model learns and it will predict certain things. One example is yeah. So we are working on some of the models, some of the projects. I'll give one example of stock market. So we work for US stock market where we analyze previous 20 years data. So there is a fixed set of data that we give, previous 20 years data for all stocks, and the machine learning models, they will predict which stocks you should buy for next 1 year or 2 years. Okay? So machine learning, you feed some certain information, certain data, it learns based on that data, and it takes some actions based on that data. So that's machine learning. And deep learning is next level, where you really, the future is, why do you want to feed the parameters, why do you want to feed the data? Okay, you give random data, the way humans, right, the way we learn. So we are taught, but naturally we look at, there is a vehicle coming, you understand, there may be accident, I stop, right? So nobody teaches, you keep learning, right? Same way deep learning models, how they will do learning is you keep feeding it data, there will be, it will behave like it has neural networks, the way we have neurons, right? There will be neural networks which will learn on their own and they will take decision on their own. So that's the we are thinking of AI, ML, we are still struggling with basic technology. So students, are you all from different faculty, like different specializations? Yes. Anybody from non-computer science? Very few people. There are few people. All others from computer science? I think the policy is applicable for all specializations, right? So I see a lot of very few non-computer science. I don't know why. Because I don't know, all non-computer science people, you also need to be aware at least of the subject that I am talking. Because I have seen that a lot of people, they take it as elective and ignore it. It's just an elective and I want to ignore it, but that's not the case. When you go to market, when somebody was talking, some of the professor that Tata Motors, they are looking for 60 to 70 mechanical engineers, but only if you have AI ML skill. So that's the industry requirement. Okay? You cannot ignore this particular area. So I'm used to talking with slides, right? So I'm waiting for the slide to come. Yeah. This is just one example at very high level for students to understand how machine learning models work. Basically, what you do is you feed some training data. We call it as training data. Here, example is how do you differentiate between a nut and a bolt, right? What you do is you feed images of multiple images of nuts and bolt, and in that training data, you tell that this particular shape is nut and this particular shape is bolt. Okay? The models will learn on its own. Okay, and after that, once it is trained accurately, 95 96% accuracy, after that, you keep feeding any other images, it will understand the image. The image, the nut bolt size can be different, the color can be different, and the image quality can be different, but the model will automatically understand which is nut, which is not, which is bolt. This is a very simple example. The same concept is applied for all machine learning languages. You need some data, you will train on that data, and after that you keep feeding information. Based on that, it will take a decision on its own. It will tell what is nut, what is not bolt, or what is bolt. Another example is which we use in insurance industry, right? There are a lot of claims that people raise. Let's take of car accident claims. Now, a lot of those claims are fraud claim as well, right? So, based on historical data, the models will learn, and once there is a new claim that comes in, the model will look at some of the parameters, and it will say that whether this is a fraud claim or no fraud claim. If it is a fraud claim, it will pass it to somebody to say go and do more analysis. If it knows that definitely this is not a fraud claim, it will manually approve it. Okay, so you don't need humans for approval. So these are some of the examples. So if you look at next 10 to 15 years, the focus from technology perspective will be one, industrial IoT. Okay, all industries will have IoT devices connected, and all factories, they will run using IoT. Okay? So there will be no humans required. There will be no people running, working on those machines. It will be IoT, which will be collecting signals, collecting information, and taking decisions on when to start production, when to stop production, what to produce, right? What not to produce, right? And even based on that, what pricing you should charge for that particular item, looking at the external data. Okay, so that's the future. So if anybody is from automobile mechanical industry, you need to start learning about what IoT is. You need to have some courses on IoT. You need to have some courses on big data, because these IoT devices they collect a lot of data. Okay? And you as mechanical engineers, you will have to understand that data. So big data. So these basic courses you definitely need to take. Okay? And if somebody is interested more, you can go to AI ML these courses as well. Because when you are part of that factory, you will not be interacting with humans. You will be interacting working with machines, and hence you need to be aware of these processes. Next is digital twins. That's the future. So what it is saying is the way you as an individual behave, the systems will create your twin, and that twin. It's a difficult concept to understand, but I'll give you a simple example. Say there is somebody who is managing a machine, right? A part of factory, and he or she takes certain actions based on behavior of that machine. Now, depending on the machine, the computers will learn based on how you interact with machines. It will create your digital twin within the computer, and then you don't need to be there. The digital twin will operate the machines. Same thing will apply for healthcare. Okay? Doctors, there will be digital twins created of doctors. You don't need actual doctors. They will behave and they will work like doctors. So digital twins is the next feature. Okay? 5G, I'll skip some of these. Distributed infrastructure. Anybody, every student need to be aware of what cloud computing is. At high level, you all know what cloud computing is, right? Everything on the cloud. So when you say cloud, you will not need hardware except your basic machines. Everything will be sitting, be it data, be it process, everything will be sitting on, say, Amazon Cloud, Google Cloud, or any other cloud provider, and everything will be running on those clouds. So you definitely need to know basics of what these cloud providers are, how do they run, how do you use these cloud computers. So you all need to be aware of that because 99% of data processes will run on cloud computers. You need to be aware of cloud computing. So there is one word there, robots and RPA. For last 10-15 years, especially in German, US, you had a lot of factory robots, right? Robots in factories will do factory work. Now the future is humanoids. Humanoids are robots which are like humans and who will assist you. So they will be your assistant. So you will have physical robots which will work. It will talk to you. It will understand what you are talking, and it will take action based on what you are talking. So that's the next future. Okay, so only factories had a chance to use robots, but 10 years from now, I'm pretty sure at least 30-40% of you will be working with robots who look like humans. Okay, so I will be giving some examples of robots that are already popular, produced in US. A few more, I'll skip those. One important thing for all computer science students and even teachers, till now, software programming was a little difficult. It was time consuming to create programs. The future is no code programming. So you don't need to do coding for programming. You need to just drag and drop certain things, and the programs will get created. Okay? So the programming today, if you are doing programming at certain speed, the prediction is after 5 to 10 years, it will be 50 to 100 times faster because you actually don't need to program. The machines will help you and create code. Have you all heard of Chat GPT? Yes. Yeah. So it also helps in programming, right? I don't know if you are using it for completing your assignments. It's a little early. Chat GPT is not that smart, but there will be future where Chat GPT will also create programs for you. So that's the future. So of programming, you need to know what is Java and these languages are, but hardcore programming you need not do. You just need to be aware how these all pieces have to be used together. And in future, what is more important is more than programming. Do you have the domain knowledge, right? That's the most important thing. So if you are creating software for smart factories, more than computer science engineers, there will be demand for automobile or mechanical engineers because they understand how those factories work. Because programming will become easy in future, right? That's the future. So I'll skip and certain things and move to next level. You all interact with chatbots, right? You understand. And unfortunately, today's bot chat, when you interact with these chatbots, they are very trivial, very primitive. You understand that this particular is not a human, right? Talking. There is some machine talking because it will ask you stupid questions. It will stop in between, right? 10 years from now, all our interactions will be with these bots, which are very smart. You will not understand whether on the other side there is a person or there is a machine talking. It will be that smart, and it's already happening. Chatbot is just the beginning, but it has already started happening. Which means the agents that you call for banking problems, and if you call agents for say healthcare, if you want appointment, those agents will not be required in future. People will not be required. All that action will be taken care by these bots. Okay? So that's the future. 90% of industry will be interacting with software bots, but not humans. So whoever is today working with KPO, whoever is working as service agent, they will not have jobs after 5 to 10 years. Okay? And you all should be aware where the industry is moving so that you can prepare for it. human-like AI will become reality in 2030. Today, artificial intelligence is at very primitive stage, but by 2030, the way humans think, the way your brain works, right? These machines, they will start thinking like humans, and they will start behaving like humans, right? It will understand your emotions. If you are angry, if you are happy, looking at your behavior, the way you talk, right, and it will respond accordingly. So that's the future that we are looking at. Some of the critical areas in AI is today most of the AI and machine learning programs, they are being developed by, let's say, people from India or USA. Right? Now the challenge it brings in is you as Indian gender or say US, okay, you will have use cases where you will try to use data specific to your own gender or your own nation. So in US, most of the data, if you look at most of the images, they will use images of white people, right? And what that creates is if that same models are used for say people who are black color or people who are brown color, it will not behave correctly. It will give wrong outputs. Okay? That's the area now that industry is worried about, that gender, this sex, gender, the ethnicity, these all things should be taken care so that these models do not favor these people, white people and other people. So that's the future, and that's what industry is moving towards, right? So you all should be aware that when you create programs, you think of these areas. Explainable AI. Now AI is a black box, right? You don't know how the output comes, right? You just believe that is the right output. The future is explainable AI, which means the AI model should be able to explain you how the output came, because you should it should not be biased, and that's where the explainable AI is coming. Right? AI on the edge is just AI on cloud. Right? So I'll give some examples of like say civil engineering or healthcare where AI will is being used. And if you are from say civil engineering, you need to understand these are the impact will be and how you should be prepared. Right? A lot of these civil projects, right? When you create plans for civil engineering projects, there is a lot of overrun that happens. Okay? And you as a human, you take decision on what should be produced first, right? You create a slab. After that slab, you have brickwork for that particular slab, and then you move to next slab and so on, right? So that's all decision taken by humans based on their understanding, their knowledge. The future is humans will not be involved in that decision making. Machine learning will take a decision based on what the demand supply is, what should be produced when, and then machines will automatically do the building construction. Now I will show you some images where in US and Germany there are robots which do brick laying. So you don't need people for laying bricks. Those robots will start. They will lay the brick. They will spray the cement. So you don't need humans there, right? So civil engineering people need to be aware that there is such machinery coming in very future, and you need to be aware how to operate those. So in Mexico, another example where AI will be being used is to forecast damages, structural damages. Today you look physically and you say, oh, there is a damage to this particular building. You are looking at it physically and saying. So there will be IoT devices which will be put at certain locations, and it will keep looking at all these civil construction, and if there is a possibility of damage, based on change in color or texture, it will give a signal that there is a possibility that there is a damage available. Okay, so that forecasting of damages, that will be all happening through IoT devices. Okay, there will be no human intervention required there. Then autonomous robots for construction. I give you one example: brick laying robots. Right, there are more robots coming like that where you don't need humans for construction. Whether it is good bad, for India the population is very high, like you need humans to get work, right? So that's the reality. But if you look 10-15 years down the line, uh, unfortunately most of the work will be done by machines. Humans will get trained in some other areas. The way, if you remember 20-30 years back, people were saying that if computers come, there will be no need of people because since initially they will only use that typewriters. right? And you just learn, you will have to just learn typewriting, and you will continue working as a like typewriting people. They never knew understood the requirement of how the computer can be used in future. So people learned languages, they started programming, and they got jobs. Same way, even if these particular things come where humans are not required for civil engineering, they will get job in some other areas. So I think we should not be worried about whether jobs will be lost or not. We should be aware of what the future is and get ready for it. And there are a few more examples. I'll skip this. So these are some of the examples of actual robots being used. Big playing robots. 3D printing, I think most of you have heard, right? 3D printing. So China, Germany, they have actually made houses, built houses on 3D printers, and people are staying there. So that's the feature. The houses or anything that you really need for house will be printed using 3D printers in 3D in civil engineering. Same in mechanical, all the parts of say car or any equipment, those parts will be produced using 3D printers. So that's the feature. So even in civil engineering, you should be aware what 3D printers are, how they operate, and how it produces different items. And so as a faculty, you should, I'm sure you should, you are thinking of it, but can you bring 3D printers here? And can you have electives where these 3D printers are being used for different faculties? That's one area you should look at. Same way in manufacturing, there are digital twins. I think we talked about 3D printing. So these are the areas. Then healthcare. So I'll skip some of these. What I'm saying is, most of all these industries, okay, there will be technology being used, and if you have basic degree in that, in addition, you need to be aware of how technology will be used there. One of the areas in healthcare, genomics, and then creating new material, nanotechnology. Today, if you see in pharmaceutical industry, it takes anywhere from 10 to 15 years to come up with a new pharmaceutical product, right? Because you have to go through the complete cycle of what is the industry demand, then you understand the chemistry, you add few items together, you do trial and error, and then you come with a product, and the product, then you see if it is suitable for that particular problem that you are solving or not. So you go through a lot of trial and error. Now with AI/ML and with computer machines, you don't have to actually do a trial and error physically. You feed information to these machines, they will run and they will churn, and they will tell you that for this problem to be solved, this is how you should make the production. So your this R&D effort, which was 10 years, the predicted will come down to 6 months to 9 months. Within 6 to 9 months, you will be able to produce pharmaceutical drugs and vaccines and all those things. Okay? So that's why technology will be used even in healthcare. Same way in agriculture, in India, we have already started using some of these smart machines for agriculture. For spraying, we worked on one project for US, where in US there are, if you look at Florida area, they have thousands of acres of oranges, right? And it is humanly impossible to check if these oranges have disease. Okay? You only come to know afterwards, after the disease has impacted oranges. You come to know there is a disease and these oranges production has reduced or the oranges have gone foul. Okay? Because you cannot go to this thousands of miles and keep checking. Okay? And even if you check, you come to know later. You come to know after the problem has happened. Again, and there were some insects which is creating havoc in this Florida area and California area, and there was loss of billions of dollars because of these oranges not being produced. So what we did was we worked with one of the company there, and we created a software project, local software project where you all know about drones, right? So these drones they keep flying intermittently on these orange fields. They will collect videos, they will collect they will take images, photos, okay, and this information will automatically come to computers. And we created models where we'll look at those particular images of oranges, images of even the leaves, and will predict if there is a possibility of this is happening. And then we also tell that this is a particular area where there is disease has already started happening. And then once this is known to these farmers, they know that they go there and they do the spraying. The next level that we are working with them is automatic spraying. Once you know that this particular disease is there will be automatic spraying of chemicals on that. Okay, so that's what is happening there. In India also that has started happening. Uh, Europe is far ahead in these smart cities. So basically, what smart cities is, every infrastructure of cities has to be managed smartly using computers. Okay? So if you are say automobile engineer working in those cities, if you are civil engineer who is constructing as part of who is part of that city constructing buildings, right, or constructing road, you all have to be aware what this smart cities concept is and how it has to be implemented. So basically, yeah, I'll give some examples. Now, uh, so let's look at road. You have a lot of electrical lines going below under like ground, right? Today you don't know if there are damages to pipelines or those particular electrical lines, right? So these IoT devices, they will be connected and they will continuously keep collecting data, and they will give pass signal and feedback of where the problem is, and based on that people can take decisions. So these city like people working on city can take decisions. That's one example. Second is the traffic management, doing it smart way. Today, the signals that you see, they are all timed. So university signal, there's a lot of traffic at this particular time. You have 45-second signal. So you have programmed it based on some rules. So as part of smart cities, it will not be based on that. There will be data being collected from top, and based on the traffic, it will automatically decide when to start the signal, when to stop the signal, right? So that's another example, and this is being implemented in Europe, and it will come to India soon. Okay? Next is AML in oceans. This is one project that we are working with one of the US company. Uh, so we all keep saying that, right? Today, we as a humans, what we have done is we have created a lot of pollution on land, right? And we have made a lot of land unusable, right? Same is the situation with oceans. Because of the pollution that we have created in oceans, we throw a lot of plastics, then there's the oil leakage, right? That happens in ocean. But nobody is looking at those problems of those problems in ocean because it doesn't impact us today. But there are companies in US, technology companies or US governments or departments, they have started looking at oceans seriously because nearly 70% of our proteins for humanity comes from ocean. Because if you look at Europe, Japan, US, most of the people consume fish, right? Or there are other items being produced from ocean, like algae and those. Like 70-80% of our proteins come from ocean. So if we do not take care of it today, there will be problem in future. So there are companies which have started using AI ML under the ocean. Okay? So we are working with one of the customer in US where uh, they are working with large fish farms in Norway and some other part of Europe. And when I say large fish farms, like these companies are $5 billion, $10 billion companies, very large companies, and they produce they produce fish in billions of tons. So what happens is when they have fish farms, you have to feed the fish. So you give food to the fish. Today, how it is happening is happening randomly. At certain time, you have a machine which goes and feeds the fish. The feed may be less, feed may be more. Now, if it is less, typically the fish production is low, and you are at loss. And if you give a lot of feed, it goes and sits at the bottom of ocean. It creates pollution, right? And it again, it's a loss to that industry because this feed is 60 to 70% of cost is feed. Now, what we are doing is we are working with this company and we are creating, working where that company has collected largest underwater data. Today, they have across the world. They have the largest underwater data where they collect videos of fish behavior, how fish behave. When do fish really need food? How much food they need based on fish behavior using AI/ML, and they only give feed at a particular time. Okay, this is one example I'm taking. So this is how the technology is getting implemented even in under the ocean. Now, second project that they are going to work is the ships that move within the ocean. Right, they take specific path. Now, This particular today, what they have observed is this path is not very practical. They spend a lot of oil and gas on that. Okay, and plus they go in on a path where they disturb some of the ocean animals. So using AIML, what is the right path to take? Like at what day, what time of day you should travel at which place? Okay, so using AIML and the ocean data, they are trying to work on that. So that's where AIML being used even under the ocean. Is just one example of it being used in fish farming, where you have underwater cameras which goes and collects the video information. It feeds it back to the computers, and based on the behavior of data collected, it will decide when to feed, when not to feed. Sometime back, I talked about from factory robots, we are moving to humanoid robots, right? Most of the humans, if you see immediate next 5 to 10 years, most of the doctors, they will also have robots with them, which will help them take some decisions. Like today, you have nurse, right? Nurses working with doctors. In future, you will not see nurses. You will see these robots taking decisions, like humanoids. I call them Robo sapiens. The way you had Homo sapiens, right? So we have Homo sapiens coming in. And these are some of the examples of these robots and how they are being used. Do you know Boston Dynamics? Anybody has heard of this company, Boston Dynamics? Yeah, there was a video which was very popular on YouTube. These robots dancing. I don't know if you have seen it. Okay, but you go and look at Boston Dynamics YouTube and look at their videos. Okay, those robots are so smart. What they can dance. They just wanted to show the capability by dancing. But those robots, they can understand the terrain. They know where to jump. If they have to go up, they know where to jump, how much to jump, where to stop. If they are pushed, they know that I'm pushed, I can stand. So they are behaving like humans, right? So these robots are right now being used in military, but in future it will be used for manufacturing industry. It will be used in civil industry. It will be used by doctors, right? So mechanical engineer, they have a lot of potential where you can build robots and integrate AI in it. Just one last slide, because I'm here a part of Education Institute talking to you all. I thought you all should be aware how AI is also going to impact the way you teach and how the way students learn. Now, if you really look at it, every student is different, right? And every student has different speed of grasping. Okay? Every student has different likings. But today's syllabus is all fixed. That this is a particular syllabus, and you teach at a certain pace to everyone. Now, future is not that way, and we are already seeing in US, where in US, a lot of these entrepreneurs like Microsoft founder, Google founder, what they are saying is, we don't need people with degree, but we need people who can solve our problems. So a lot of companies, what they have said is they don't need degree. They have made degree as optional. What they say is, if we'll give you a problem statement, we'll give you 2 3 days. If you can solve it, come and join our company. Okay? So I'm not saying that you all should not study. Studying is important. We are still there is some way to go ahead. There is some time before we go there. You need to have basic knowledge. But what I'm saying is that's the trend that is happening in US. Okay, so connected to that is this trend that is happening. That will happen in education in next 10 to 15 years. And the first of that is virtual reality apps. You must have heard of virtual reality, right? Yeah. So virtual reality basically you you apply certain devices like on your face, right? And you go in that virtual world, right? So if you want to learn how a car is being manufactured, today it is very difficult to learn it. You look at a video, maybe, or there is a model kept, and you look at it and you learn it, but very high level. As part of virtual reality, you want to learn how a car is being manufactured. You go in that virtual world. You will actually go there. Your avatar is what they call. Your avatar will go there. You will understand how a tire is being made, how the engine combustion works, what are different parts. You will be able to go and open those parts, and you will be able to actually see how the behavior happens if you cut a wire. So that you will be able to do in virtual world, right? So that's the future. So even as part of education, US, they have already started implementing some of these fundamentals where virtual reality apps are being built for education sectors. So you will still need professors and these apps will go hand in hand, but most of the teaching will happen through all these virtual reality apps. Uh, the next one is, as I said sometime back, each student has a different way of learning, different speed of learning, different liking. So creating syllabus which is personalized. So based on the behavior of individual, what that person is learning more, what that person is liking more, the models will create personalized syllabus, and the person will be told to learn those things. You see, you work on, you learn 50, 60 subjects, but there are maybe 5, 10 subjects you like a lot, and if you make specialization in that, you'll go a long way, right? Because you like it, you'll be successful in life. So these models will understand what you like, and based on that, it'll create personalized syllabus. So that's another thing that's going to happen. I think AI chatbots that you all are aware of. Today, if you have doubt, you have to ask question. You ask to your friends or you ask to your teachers, but your teachers are not available 24/7. Your friends are not available immediately. So these chatbots is what will be used in education sector. If you have doubt, ask it question, it will give you answer. So it's a 24/7 learning that's going to happen in future. Then there are a few more things like accelerating differently able students today. So physically challenged students, it is difficult for them to learn, right? So creating apps and AR, VR for those physically challenged students, that's another area that a lot of companies are working on. Okay, and another thing that is happening is you have big books, right? You have books of thousands of pages. Now how do you learn and how do you understand from those thousand pages? It's difficult, it's time consuming. So there are apps being created where once you feed those thousand pages books information, digital information, it will create summary. And it will create summary in audio form, it will create summary in textual form, and then you can use that to learn things. Right? So that's the feature, that's another feature that's coming in. So I think that's all I wanted to go through, just to let you know how AI will is being used and it will be used in next 10 years and how you should be ready for it. I will just go through some of the case studies of work that we have done. I will take 2, 3 minutes and tell you as of now what are the projects that are being implemented using AI ML and how much impact it is creating to those companies. So this I have talked briefly. We are working with one US company where they are working on large fish farms and based on fish size, fish behavior. Now first is understanding whether it is a fish or not, right? So these AML models, what they do is they understand whether it is a fish or not. What is the size of fish? So what it does is it takes videos on daily basis, and the models understand. Yesterday the growth was this much. Today the growth is whatever 1% more, 2% more. Okay? And if the farmers expect that the growth has to be at this pace, and if it is not at that pace, then this models take certain action, which means give more feed to them. Second is they will take fish videos and fish. If there is an insect attached to fish, right? It is very difficult for you to know if there is an insect attached. But what these videos do is they will understand based on ultra like infrared and that recording that there is a possibility that there is a disease because there are these 3, 4 insects attached, and based on that it will automatically give take the treatment of that particular fish. So that's another thing that we are working with them. So this one use case that we have worked on for data under the ocean. This I talked to you about, right? Or this orange farms and this is another project that we did for one large customer in US where how do you forecast how the stock market will behave, right? What we did was we collected data of 8,000 stocks for last 20 years for Nasdaq and NYSE, and based on that we trained and created models which will predict that for next 6 months to 1 year which stocks we should buy to give high returns. Okay, so it's a prediction model that we built, and this model we back tested it again for 2, 3 different So Nasdaq, NYSE, and one European exchange. And if say Nasdaq gave a return of say 5% in 1998, this model was able to give a return of 40 to 50%. So the prediction that it gave in 1995, you buy this 10 stock. Those 10 stocks will give 40 to 50% return. So that's how good it was. So that was another application that we built. So if you look at the impact of AIML, you have it in financial sector, you have under the ocean, you have it in agriculture, right? So these are three examples just wanted to give you. Yeah. I think I have covered. I don't know if it was in line with what you wanted, but what I thought is, in general, where the AIML industry is heading, uh, what we as industry expect the students to know, right? Those are the areas that I covered at high level. If there are any questions, I'll take it up. There are no questions. Yeah. Thank you. Thanks a lot, all.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable session. If the participants who are online, if they are having any questions, they may ask those queries or the questions.
Ramanujan, Raman, and many others, has a glorious legacy of science and technology over the centuries. Industrial research, headed by its president, the Prime Minister of India. Established in 1942, Council for Scientific and Industrial Research, CSIR, has brought pride to Indian science and technology. On one hand, CSIR focuses on developing cutting-edge technology for the industries. And on the other hand, CSIR has committed itself to the cause of national development by making technology affordable and available for the benefit of the masses. During decades between 1950 and 1970, when the country was trying to be self-sufficient, CSIR took upon itself to enable a young nation self-sustain by developing and providing indigenous technologies based on indigenous resources. During those early stages, the strong foundation of research and development that CSIR had laid and the infrastructure that it created is helping the country achieve significant milestones. Agriculture remains the most important aspect of Indian economy. On one hand, CSIR has addressed challenges related to modernization of agriculture by developing tractors such as Swaraj, Krishi Shakti, and Sonalika. These tractors have been successful in providing cheaper alternatives to farmers, transforming the farming sector in the country. On the other hand, the new seeds, products, and methods developed by CSIR has energized agriculture. Newer and more productive varieties of seeds, new forms of cash crops, and organic pesticides developed by it are cheaper and more effective. Among the inventions of CSIR is a variety of membrane, which is not only pest resistant but also one of high quality. Decades between 1970 and 1990 were challenging for the development of science and technology. Several key strategic technologies were denied to the country, which were hampering the progress of the nation. CSIR successfully met this challenge by developing indigenous and relevant technologies for meeting the strategic needs of the country. CSIR has made significant contribution to the aerospace industry. Inventions developed in its labs have strengthened India's position in aerospace by providing assistance to DRDO, ISRO, and DAE. Drishti, an advanced transmissometer, is now installed in several airports across India and is used to provide uninterrupted services during low visibility conditions. Technology inputs towards the development of light combat aircraft is enabling the Indian Air Force introduce a squadron of indigenous fighter aircraft. After many years of dependence on imported aircrafts, Triosonic Wind Tunnel is a facility at National Aerospace Laboratories which has been used for our entire aerospace program. These are only a few examples of CSIR's technical superiority and its dedication towards nation's development. Head-up display, which was developed in the labs of CSIR, have given a distinct technical edge to Indian Air Force. Development of nuclear shielding glass for the nuclear reactors is another example of CSIR's technical excellence. Completely born out of indigenous skill and technology, this glass has not only met international standards, but met the needs of the Department of Atomic Energy. These examples speak volumes about CSIR's research and development, which have augmented India's defense and aerospace capabilities. Between 1990 and 2000, as a signatory to the WTO Act, the threat from the new IPR regime loomed large over the country. To meet this challenge head-on, CSIR decided to place emphasis on intellectual property generation and also shift focus from process-based research and development to product-focused research and development. During this decade, CSIR not only built products that met international quality standards, but also used its know-how on making Indian products competitive in the world market. It collaborated closely with the Indian industry so that the finest products can be made available to the public at large. CSIR has played a leading role in developing the country's pharmaceuticals industry by introducing innovative process-based technologies and new drugs. Over a dozen CSIR institutes are participating in drug development under network, public-private partnership, open-source drug discovery, and through in-house processes. Among these are development of process technologies for 17 generic drugs. One such drug is the first indigenously developed clot-buster drug, natural streptokinase, which is being commercially produced by Cadila Pharmaceuticals Limited. Development of another recombinant form of streptokinase has made India self-sufficient in terms of affordable clot-buster drugs for heart attack. CSIR's research has also helped in development of non-steroidal contraceptive centrochroman molecule. Being marketed by the name of Saheli, this drug is also a major breakthrough in India's effort to develop the pharmaceuticals industry. Besides achieving these milestones, CSIR has developed several medicinal products, which are now available to public, making them cost-effective and within reach of the lowest strata of society. CSIR has also made significant impact in another area of utmost importance to our country: water, every drop of which is precious for our ever-increasing population. CSIR has shown great appreciation of this problem and is carrying out work towards contributing to the government's mission that the remotest corner of the country receives clean water. Whether pumping out excess water from coal mines or making water clean and potable, CSIR has developed several affordable technologies, using which clean water can be provided. The true innovation is one that these technologies are simple and affordable. CSIR has developed terracotta to ceramic to polymer membranes, which can be used to clean the water. Several other environmentally friendly technologies for removal of fluorine and arsenic from groundwater are being developed. Advanced green technologies such as phytotrade technology based on natural resources to clean water are being researched. Once research results into a viable product, the technology is made available to the industry for its commercial production, so that the maximum people may benefit from it. Many have prophesied that India will assume global leadership in innovation this century. The Prime Minister has made a clarion call to CSIR to create a platform for all stakeholders associated with technology development from idea to market. CSIR has prepared itself well to change, to meet the needs of the country. Through coordinated efforts, CSIR has already formed alliances and partnerships with industry and MSME for sharing its expertise and know-how. CSIR is the nation's flag bearer of intellectual property generation and protection. 90% of the US patents granted to public funded institutions originates from CSIR, and approximately 14% of patents enforced have been licensed or utilized by CSIR. CSIR builds the country's largest SMT human resources. Although CSIR constitutes 3 to 4% of total SMT workforce of India, but still, its publications make up to 10% of the total science output of India.
In the 1990s and later, CSR gave valuable leadership to this country in terms of patent and IPR consciousness and capability to convert science into useful idea. CSR has been at the forefront of patenting in this country. The largest number of patents that this country has are from CSR. And CSR continues to lead in terms of innovation and patents in this country. But the challenge now is to convert this idea into more and more useful products and services which go to the market and benefit the masses.
CSIR, in synergy with the other contemporary R&D organizations, academia, and industry, is endeavoring to create technological niches in the identified domains so as to enable India achieve global science and technology leadership. CSIR is indeed the true flag bearer of the nation.
I hope you got the idea about CSIR. Do you have any questions about what is CSIR now? These are group of laboratories, okay, and as this was a short film made 5-6 years back. Now we have a Director General who is a lady, Dr. Kalai Selvi, you might have heard. She is working on lithium batteries, okay, and we have progressed much more than what this film has said, okay, and as one of the laboratories already in Pune, that is National Chemical Laboratory, so you can understand, I mean, to what extent CSR works, okay, and now I will be talking about my laboratory, which is placed in Durgapur, that is Central Mechanical Engineering Research Institute, Durgapur. Okay. Earlier we had one center in Pune also, and I joined that Pune center in '94. Then, due to government policies, that center was closed, and I had to shift to Durgapur. So we also work in varied fields apart from mechanical engineering. Now we are working in so many other fields. So I have another
$20 HP tractor based on indigenous know-how. The Institute's research team worked round the clock and successfully designed and developed a 20 HP tractor. CSIR CMERI took up the challenge and developed 35 HP tractor called Sonalika. and released the know-how to Messrs International Tractors Limited, Hoshiarpur.
CSIR CMEI developed electric tractor was demonstrated to the GCSIR. Available tractors are high HP range, not suitable for small farms and are very costly. Considering all these points, a small, compact and easily maneuverable 9 HP tractor has been developed at CSIR CMERI to meet the requirement of the small farmers.
Scientists of CSIR, CMERI have designed and developed IoT-based surveillance system, Solar Lotus. It is a decorative structure with multiple numbers of solar panels which form the shape of a lotus.
CSIR CMERI has developed and installed a solar tree of 11.5 kilowatt power in on-grid mode for balancing the electricity demand of its dispensary at the Institute's residential colony at the Kapur.
CSIR CNERI has developed a new technology for post-harvest processing of spices like ginger, turmeric, and chili to get good value of the produce. CSIR CNERI has successfully validated this technology through implementation at Cedar, Mizoram, and its production has already started. The farmers are getting maximum sale value by this new technology. CSIR CMERI COEFM Ludhiana then developed a semi-automatic biodiesel plant with a capacity of 1 ton per day.
CSIR CMERI has developed technology for decentralized management of solid waste. A pilot plant is in operation at CSIR CMERI residential campus. Municipal solid waste generated within the residential campus are being processed at the developed pilot plant. Wastes are collected and disposed of on daily basis in the pilot plant using appropriate technological interventions. The collected wastes are first segregated to different components in a mechanized segregation plant developed in-house by the scientists. The collected waste goes through a first round of disinfection by spraying with a solution of sodium hypochlorite prior to the mechanized segregation. The second round of disinfection is carried out by exposing the waste to UVC radiation in a controlled chamber for a predetermined time of about 30 minutes. The waste then goes through a hot air conveyor through a polybag crusher where hot air at 60 to 70 degrees centigrade is passed over the waste for reduction of surface moisture and final round of disinfection. The disinfected waste is passed over an eddy current separator where both ferrous and non-ferrous metallic components are segregated. The remaining waste is then conveyed through a bucket conveyor to the air separation unit and allowed to fall freely. Plastics are separated during the gravitational fall using high pressure air jet. Sanitary items, large packets, plastic bottles, etc. are segregated over the inclined vibratory screen. Undersized biomass passed through the vibratory screen and gets collected into the hopper. Provision is also made for UVC disinfection of segregated biodegradable and polymer waste. The segregated organic wastes are utilized for biogas production. The unique features of the biogas plant developed by CSIR CMERI include installation of a biomass grinder cum stirrer for crushing the waste to fine sizes, automatic gas evacuation system to ensure that the compressor is switched on when the floating rope reaches a particular height, and slurry water recycling to minimize freshwater consumption and maximize biogas production. Biogas is stored in gas storage tank in compressed condition. The produced biogas can alternatively be used for the generation of electricity in gas engine. The generated electricity from the alternator and solar PV installation is fed to the microgrid, which is used for charging of batteries. The segregated polymer waste is disposed of through pyrolysis process. The polymer waste is fed into the reactor and heated to a temperature of 500 to 600 degrees centigrade in anaerobic condition. The heating is done through combustion of diesel or pyrolysis oil in the first phase and the combustion of biogas and regenerative syngas in the second phase. Possibilities are also explored for heating the reactor through Joule effect and combustion of solid fuel briquette individually. As a result of anaerobic heating, the volatile matter from the plastic waste comes out, which is condensed in the form of oil. The pyrolysis oil is filtered and distilled to be used as petro-alternate fuel. The technology is already implemented at CRPF Group Center Durgapur and Manipur. CSI and CMARI designed and developed electrical power-free community-level iron removal plant installed at various states in India, transferred this technology to 20 MSMEs and got CSIR Technology Award. CSIR CMARI has developed iron arsenic-free water purification technology for the removal of arsenic, iron, and bacterial contamination from groundwater with a flow rate of 4,000 to 8,000 LPH. The technology used low-cost media and the backwashing capabilities to make the water filtered affordable and maintenance-free. The state-of-the-art scenario of fluoride and iron contamination in groundwater demands development of an integrated water purification system for simultaneous eradication of fluoride and iron in a systematic manner. Oxygen enrichment unit utilizes atmospheric air and selectively removes nitrogen to supply an oxygen-enriched gas. It works on pressure swing absorption technique. CSIR CMERI has developed two types of working prototypes, first being standalone and second being remotely installed model to be used in small dispensaries, rural hospitals, mohalla clinics, which help in slashing down the overall investment drastically as compared to PSA plants. Retractable multi-barrel tear gas launcher with pan tilt is mounted on the roof of the vehicle to fire tear gas shell simultaneously from several barrels. PTZ camera with telescopic mast with night vision is installed on the roof with a telescopic mast elevates the PTZ camera for clear long-range view. Water cannon system with pan tilt is joystick operated and placed on the roof of the cabin to provide high flow of water in the form of a jet to disperse the mop. Retractable protective front shield is a 5-foot extendable and retractable protective shield operated by hydraulic system. The side shields are expanded as per requirement to protect the vehicle. Lifting platforms are provided for up and down movement of two numbers of security personnel to monitor the mob situation up to longer distance. Front shovel is mounted in front of the vehicle chassis to remove any block. Vehicle mounted tear smoke system is utilized to distribute the tear gas smoke. All-round irritant spray system is utilized to spray the pressurized irritant water mixture all around the vehicle in the form of water mist near the vehicle. Positive cabin pressurization system is included to avoid the infiltration of irritant and other pollutant gases or particles inside the cabin of vehicle.
CSIR CMERI initiated an innovative step by developing a vehicle-mounted mechanized drain cleaning system. The type of operation is selected depending on the nature of blockage. As in this case, both the manholes are filled with sewer water due to blockage. In the first step, this water is being pumped out with the help of a high-capacity slurry suction pump. Some quantity of sewer water has been collected into the mechanical filtration tank for filtration and reuse for jetting purpose, and remaining excessive sewer water is being disposed of into a nearby open drain canal. In the second step, the desiltation system has been used to remove the silt from the bottom of the manhole so that The entrance of the sewer pipe is visible for the execution of next operation.
We have a lot of tanks for cleaning this sewage. So we have developed this.
CSIR has developed a solar photovoltaic energy-based electric cooking system or solar chula. It is a DC-based cooking system which does not need any inverter so that the DC to AC conversion loss can be avoided. Here, solar energy is converted into electricity and electricity is used to produce heat in the solar cooking oven. Excess electricity is stored in the batteries so that it can be used for cooking at night. It can be used inside the kitchen. All types of cooking like boiling, steaming and frying can be done. Heat can be controlled by a power regulation switch. It is very easy to use. So, the cooking process in the developed solar cooking system is similar to any conventional cooking system.
In our canteen, actually, we don't use LPG. We all use our biogas produced by our plant or this solar-based cooking. I hope you got the idea about CMERI. And we do lot more things in CMERI than what you have seen. This was just a film made for 1 year. Okay. So, talking about this new education policy and implementation of National Research Foundation. So, I'll just talk about this, how we can help academic institutions in getting attached with maybe institutions like us, CSIR, and maybe other government institutions. So, quality academic research in all fields through new National Research Foundation. So, we know knowledge creation. Knowledge creation is always there. So, we had earlier very prosperous civilizations in the world, and one of the civilization was our industrial civilization. Okay, that is India. Then we had another great civilization, what is called as Mesopotamia, which is nowadays Iraq. Okay, another which was on River Nile, that was Egypt, and another civilization was a Greece civilization. So these were all ancient civilizations, and we know they had lot of knowledge generation during that period. Okay, and if even we claim that we had knowledge about existing all aircrafts, and one of our Maharashtrian had developed this type of technique much before I mean what people are doing now. Okay, but in modern era, what we see is countries like USA, Germany, Israel, South Korea, Japan, they are much more technically advanced than other countries or developing countries. So, what to do in R&D and knowledge creation? As far as India is concerned, we have very less, investment in R&D. It is just 0.69% of GDP, as compared to other countries like USA, which is 2.8% of GDP, Israel, which is 4.3% of GDP, 4.2% in South Korea. In that comparison, India has very less percentage of investment in R&D. And I hope with this new research foundation, we'll have more funding, and I hope it will come to institutions like yours also in future. We have so many societal challenges that needs to be addressed, such as access to all citizens, like clean drinking water, sanitation, quality education, health care, improved transportation, air quality, energy and infrastructure, and so many other challenges are also there. I have just traveled from Durgapur to Delhi for some work. From Delhi, I came to Durgapur. So during this period, we find that atmosphere in Delhi and nearby area is very polluted, and almost in top 10 cities of the world, we have almost 6 cities from our country. So we have so many challenges like this, and how to address this comes from R&D. So we have to have more emphasis on all these are problems in future. I hope this new research foundation will look into this. So research and innovation and education in India, particularly in higher education, has to be improved, because nowadays education, much force is given on curriculum and very less on R&D. So in future, I hope that much more things will be coming with this new research foundation, and you people will also be a part of many more research projects, hopefully. So, what will be the primary activities of this new research foundation? Most probably, fund competitive with peer-reviewed grant proposals of all types of research in all disciplines. Now, we are not talking only about engineering field. We are thinking about all disciplines. Maybe even in history, or maybe agriculture or environmental science, in all disciplines. I hope that more and more funds will be available in future through this research foundation, and I hope it will reach to the institutions like you, and we have more participation for more and more research and knowledge generation in future. Then another what I hope so that National Research Foundation will do is seed, grow and facilitate research at academic institutions, particularly at university and college level. And then we have so many government organizations like UGC, AICT. Then I told you there are so many government funded institutions like CSIR, DRDO, Atomic Energy, ICAR. So I think there will be a good liaison between different organizations, and that will improve government and public-private partnership in future. And I hope that even industries will participate with academics and research organizations in future, so that we can have more innovation and knowledge creation. And many people talked about this Jugaad technology, but what I understand is, whenever there is some sort of innovation, it is not recognized. So any type of innovation must be recognized, and I hope this new research foundation will recognize every good research in future.
So this is what I expect from this new research foundation. Okay. Now I will talk about what we are doing at CMERI in Durgapur. Okay. These are some of the projects in strategic sector. You might have seen in this film. We talked about mob control vehicle. This was a requirement from PMO. We got in 2017 because there were lot of problems in Jammu and Kashmir for controlling mob, and lot of our even security personnel used to get hurt about this mob. So how to control mob was a big challenge. So there was a requisition from uh, uh, PMO office, and we developed so many variety of mob control vehicles. Even small tractor could be used in controlling mob. Okay. So we have developed this technology to many our forces also, and Ministry of Health, Home Affairs Committee, they have given it to CRPF and Rapid Action Force, and they are using this mob control vehicle at many different places now. Another which area which even my friend Budke talked about is underwater robotics. We have two very strong groups in CNERI which works in robotics. One is underwater robotics and another is surface robotics. So in underwater robotics, we have developed so many different types of robots which go under the water, and beneficiaries are Ministry of Earth Science, Coast Guards, oceanographic centers, and even in defense. In defense also for surveillance, we work with NSTL, that is Naval Science Technological Laboratory, Vizag. We work with them, and this AUV, which goes up to 500 meters. But now we are going much deeper and deeper and developing more and more this type of underwater robotic vehicles. And what vehicle you are seeing here is, you might have heard that there are so many accidents in mines, and many times miners are trapped in mines. Okay, so this type of robot will go inside the mine and try to find out where miners are trapped, and it can be used for surveillance also. Okay, so these are some of the underwater robotics study going on in CMER. At the same time, I told you we are working on surface robotics also, and this is the I mean some of the sensors and robotics used for helping soldiers, because soldiers have to walk long distance with heavy equipments with them. So how to help them? So they are developing some sort of silicon muscles for soldiers, which will help them in their work. At the same time, they are developing so many other, type of equipments which will help a person, our military person, to detect intrusion, because this is a boundary line, and if someone comes near boundary line, immediately our people sitting at the base, they will understand that some sort of intrusion is happening. So this is being developed for Indian Defense, Indian Army, and BSF. At the same time, I told you we are working on so many robotics. Surface robotics, and this is the one type of actuator, and this is another actuator, and this is ground vehicle which can be used to supply equipment, food to the soldiers, because it is very difficult for humans to travel on the borderlines. So these type of robotics are being used. We are also working on miniature robots which will go inside a boiler tube, find out the defects in the boiler tube, or if there are defects in pipeline. So we are working on that also. So we have got both surface as well as underwater water robotics, very strong groups in CENIA. So this is another, I mean, work going on how to improve walking of a soldier. Then we are working on so many other defense products, okay, mortars and shells. We are also working on how to store energy. So this is hybrid energy storage capacitor built on graphene ultra capacitor model. So graphene is one of the product now used in many I mean with different material, so that we can have better quality of material. Okay, and this is another work done for VCC, that is Variable Electron Center in Kolkata. This comes under um, this comes under atomic energy, and this type of radio frequency can be used for detecting and curing cancer. Okay, so I told you we are working on this solar technology a lot, and we have developed solar tree which is largest in the world, and it is in the Guinness World Book of World Record. We have developed that, and this was talked about solar chula in earlier that film also. And mechanized sewage line cleaning system, this also we have developed with the request of PMO, because Prime Minister is our head basically. This comes under science and technology, but even though Prime Minister is head of our this CSI. So you might have heard that many people die while cleaning sewage. To avoid this, this mechanized system is developed, and now it is being used at many places uh, in the country. And hope that in future people will not die cleaning sewage. This is another problem. You might have seen that municipal solid waste is a big problem everywhere. In all the big cities, it is a big problem. Earlier, we had a center in Kothurud where all dumping used to be done. Now it is shifted somewhere. But if you treat this solid waste and create some sort of energy out of it. So even your waste will be utilized and we will get some sort of energy out of it. So we have worked on that, and you might have seen on in that movie that our colony is completely waste free. Our colony is completely waste free, and we are utilizing our waste inside the colony. We are developing biogas and briquettes, and these are used in our canteen. And we don't use LPG, and we use solar chula, and so this can be implemented everywhere. So many municipalities are utilizing this our technology to manage their waste now. At the same time, we are working on post-harvest technology. So there are so many, and this is being implemented. This is being implemented at different places, especially in northeastern, states. At the same time, you might have seen in the film, we have got so many process for drinking water, and this hand pump was basically developed at very early stage, but we don't have patent of that because we never thought that this will be taken by someone else. So this Mark II hand pump was developed by CBR, and we have got so many other uh, technologies for cleaning arsenic, iron, fluorides. Okay, and we got award from earlier president also for this technology. And this technology and this type of plants have been installed in so many places where it is in need. Even in Maharashtra, our Vidarbha region, we have problems of drinking water. So even it is installed in so many places in Maharashtra. We had to talk about tractors. So this was our first tractor, indigenously developed tractor, Swaraj, and now this Sonalika bigger version with 35 HP, it is in the market. We have got Krishi Shakti, very small tractor for small farmers. Okay, so I will not talk much about this. At the same time, we have developed e-tractor also. We have developed e-tractor also. Okay, and this is Dr. Harshvardhan, our earlier minister, who inaugurated this type of e-tractor. Okay, very small tractor. You can see this, very small tractor. Okay, so that people can afford, small farmers can afford this. And we also conduct so many skill development programs, and this is for post-harvest technology. Okay, skill development program for post-harvest technologies. Okay, this is in Mizoram. This is also in Mizoram. You can see pineapple, turmeric, and other post-harvest technologies are there. We also train people for skill from industry. Okay, so these are some of the areas where we train people: renewable energy, waste management, potable water, agriculture automation, precision agriculture, etc. We work with so many companies in India and also outside companies. Now this is my core area of work. I work in Industrial Services and Research Group, and vibrational and dynamic parenthetical rotating. This is our core area, my core area. Okay, and vibration-based fault diagnosis and provision of rotating machinery equipment, data frequency assessment of machine components and machine signal processing and data analysis. Okay, this will be very important in future. Signal processing. Okay. And research areas in solid mechanics and structural dynamics. And we also conduct courses for training in these all relevant areas. So these are some benefits of condition monitoring. So I will skip this because this may not be important because most of you are not from mechanical engineering. These are all part of mechanical engineering basically. And we use so many different equipments and different softwares. So you can learn this software. Okay. Apart from mechanical engineering, other people also can learn this. And these are some of the work I have carried out. Okay. I talked about this agent, and this is one structure from a paper mill where we work. This is wheel, railway wheel, which we work. And you might have heard about hydrogen energy. Hydrogen energy will be the future of energy now. But hydrogen storage is another challenge. Okay. So we work on this hydrogen storage cylinder, and our NCL is working on this, and we have got first bus working on hydrogen energy, and this storage tank which we designed was used in that. We also work for mining industry. This is the canopy for mining industry, and we analyze that also. And we work for many industries. These are some of the industries. And this is the turbo generator set. Okay, this is the ash slurry pump. We work for different industries for different machines. This is W pump, gearbox, city fan, PA fan. Okay, this is the high speed compressor. Okay, this is ID fan. So I will not go into details of this because we already discussed, and time is very short. Okay. And we also work for this Indian Navy. This is a work we did for Indian Navy. It was a work for old ship, warship called Exila, and we worked on turbine of that, and we could find out that the life can be increased by 10,000 hours. And these are my colleagues, and this is Dr. Laha, who is passed out from IIT Guwahati, and he is my colleague. We worked on AIML for our work. This is I mean, another work for CW pump in one of the industry. And this was the work for paper industry, which I talked about. And we have proposed some more work like with ISRO, this spacecraft health monitoring using AI, then natural frequency assessment of spacecraft and other components for ISRO, then IoT-based condition monitoring and predictive maintenance for central power research issues. This is going on, and we are also working on RDSO, that annealing furnace in Bokaro thermal plant and Bokaro steel plant. Now we have got this is for students now. We have got Academy of CSIR. Earlier this academy was not there. So if at all HCL student wants to work with HCL scientists, he has to register with University of Pune. But now we have got Academy of CSIR, so we can give our own degree, and this is started recently. So our programs are PhD in engineering, PhD in science, and postgraduate diploma in many fields. And we have integrated dual degree for MTech and PhD. This is started in 19. And MTech degree in mechatronics and design of machinery and design of farm machinery and power engineering. Okay. At present, we have around 160 students. This is old slide. 30 PhD theses are already completed. Okay. And we are planning to increase this strength maybe further. And I told you we have got many skill development programs. Thank you. If you have any questions, you can ask me related to CSIR, and if you are interested, how you can work with CSIR. You can go to our site cmara.csir, or cmara.org. You will get a call for, now that call is there for internship. We also take students for internship. Okay, third year and final year student. You can apply for that. Okay, and you can work with us on different projects. And in future, I hope that CSIR will work with institutes like you and help our students to generate more knowledge and innovation. Thank you. If you have any questions, you can ask. Any questions, please? Yes, ma'am.
I'm working as a faculty member in the Pune Engineering College only. Are there any provisions for the students to take to your institute for the industrial visits?
Yeah, there is a provision. We have got a program called Jigyasa. Okay, in that we take students to our institute and we show them our work. But unfortunately, my institute is at Durgapur, which is in West Bengal. Okay, so it is very difficult for you to visit there. But if you are interested, you can visit our nearest lab, which is NCL, National Chemical Laboratory. But your students can get attached with us. I told you for internship, for projects, we have got different projects and we can take students on our projects. Okay? Any other question? Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Mukesh, for your valuable guidance. Now we'll be having lunch break, and all the participants are requested to gather in seminar hall at 1:45 p.m.
Students, remember MCA, IT, electronics, computer department students. Afternoon again, your attendance would be considered over here itself. 1:45 you have to be over here. Thank you. Participants from all the colleges can have your lunch. And
Hello all. I hope I'm audible. Yes, audience who are online, everyone is requested to come back after the lunch break at 1:45 p.m. Again on same link, or else I'll even send you the link on the WhatsApp group. I'm ending the broadcast now, and at 1:45 we shall have the next session. And the next session would be by the academicians and an industry person also. So I hope you people are loving the program, and do come back online at 1:45 p.m. Thank you.